request the very person who's the sole initiator of the Undergraduate Research Symposium in Bangladesh, the person who made us start the trend of this wonderful get-together of brilliant minds. Everyone, please welcome the Dean of School of Business and Economics, Professor Dr. Abul HMZ Azam, sir, to give his speech. Everyone, please welcome Abul.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Rizwan Khan, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Hafizur Rahman, the Chief Guest, Mr. Devopriyo Bhattacharya, Distinguished Research Fellow, Center for Policy Dialogue, Special Guest, Mr. Mohammed Nurul Amin, Managing Director, Meghna Bank, Special Guest, Mr. He's not here yet, ASM Mining Managing Director and CEO of the Modern Economic Zone, the faculty and the participants in the Undergraduate Research Symposium. It is my great pleasure and privilege to welcome you to this momentous event. It is momentous because it is the first of its kind in Bangladesh higher education. One of the world's foremost teachers, still an often mentioned name, taught us how to search for truth. He never answered any question. Instead, he asked questions. The name you must have guessed by now is Socrates. Hundreds of years later, the lost wisdom of the Greeks was revived by the Muslim philosopher Ibn Sina, known as Avicenna to the Westerners, and later by Ibn Rushd. Initially, Avicenna's and later Averroes's work rekindled the intellectual tradition of the Greeks in Europe, which culminated in the Renaissance. All of these great philosophers preached critical thinking as the only way to acquire knowledge. Since the advent of the modern era, fostering critical thinking has been the staple of all universities. Critical thinking and its handmaiden research has led to the creation, understanding, clarification, and extension of knowledge over time. Critical thinking and research took a backseat in the East during the colonial rule over the past 300 years. Nevertheless, in recent years, many universities have made long strides in this regard. It is in the hope of nurturing and establishing a tradition of critical thinking that UIU has undertaken this effort. At UIU, we believe in not only preparing our youth to perfectly fit the great wills of the global economy, we also believe in creating critical minds that will extend the current frontiers of knowledge and make that will larger or discover new wills of progress and prosperity. We plan to institutionalize this by making it an annual event. This year, 31 universities from all over the country participated in the event. You have heard about it. We received 167 research papers in 5 tracks. All submitted papers have gone through rigorous screening for plagiarism, originality, soundness of methodology, and relevance. Out of these who passed the screening, 58 papers were selected for presentation. Other papers, which could not be accommodated for lack of time, are of no less importance. I congratulate all participants for taking the time and effort to join this intellectual pursuit. Finally, I must thank our Vice Chancellor for supporting this event with a hefty grant, and the URS team for their hard work. Special thanks to Dr. Joardar, Director BBA Program, and Mr. Mokamel, Coordinator Economics Department. Without their unrelenting work, URS wouldn't have seen the light of the day. Now the hour has come to recognize some of you who have excelled. Thank you.